able to join our colleagues from all over the world to celebrate this day. I will begin my intervention with some quotes from athletes. In 2019, I witnessed injustices and inequalities in my life as a Black athlete, a Black woman, and a Black runner in America. I've been told that as a Black woman, I can't be super emotional and to be mindful of 100% of the things I'm saying during interviews. I've been told, don't speak too loudly and don't come across in one way that might convey you as a stereotype of an African American woman. Those are the words of Della, who's an Olympic champion and world record holder over the 400 meters hurdle. It doesn't matter what I do or accomplish, how kind or good a person I may be, how educated or well-intentioned I am. There are people out there that seek to do me wrong because of the color of my skin. That's Dina Asher-Smith. She's from Great Britain, the world 200 meters champion. That was reported by the Telegraph. My parents explained to me when I was young, those things are going to happen, and we just have to be the bigger person and keep moving. That's Ian Simon, an American footballer, as quoted by the ESPN. An anonymous basketballer claims and says, the NBA felt like being in a zoo. He shared how he felt fans treated them for the first time, yet they have been in sports for many years. Just a minute, please. And then there was this headline by the CNN. This footballer was racially abused by fans and then banned for 6 months. You know, when I read all this, I kept asking myself, would we have written or read these quotes and headlines were it not for the context of the Black Lives Matter movement? It is concerning that most of the athletes are opening up on racial discrimination for the first time. Yet they've been in sports for so many years, an environment that is considered safe and welcoming. Did we ignore or assume the discomforts as sports journalists? It's clear sports is not a united front, or the great equalizer it should be. In 2015, a study by the University of Missouri found that Black athletes received a tenth of the morally successful stories in the media compared to white athletes. The Black athletes are usually described as brats and spoils. We have seen racist criticism of Black athletes from Serena Williams to Raheem Sterling in the Premier League. We as a sports media, we must continue to exert pressure to make sure that the voices of the athletes and administrators who are facing any form of discrimination, be it racial, gender, or religious biases, and even ethnicism that is very common in most African countries, are heard. But sometimes it may not be easy to confront racism or inequalities or any other form of discrimination in our sport when we cannot deal with the problem that is within our media industry. In an article in the Colombian Journalism Review, the writer noted that it was titled Confronting Racism Within the Press. And the writer noted that far too many powerful people in the media approach racism as a bias or a one side of an argument rather than as a condition of life. The writer simply acknowledged the power of the media to lead against this problem. However, the silent issues are bypassed. From my own experience as a sports journalist, even amongst familiar work and corporate circles, many of my colleagues, some of you, and even outside the Aips, they find it easy to describe me as the Black one. You know, I'm the Black woman, not even the journalist from Kenya or the Aips vice president. To use the word Black as a collective noun is okay, but as an adjective, it leaves a bitter taste. We as sports media, the sporting federations, and even sports associations like the Aips We must move beyond the diversity and inclusion panels when we hold our conferences and seminars or congresses, just for the sake of it. Even as we entertain and inform on our pages and sports bulletin, we must take a lead on the anti-racist front. The tone, content of our coverage must not reproduce racism or discrimination. We must push the custodians and administrators of the sports to work harder and faster to fix any form of discrimination. We have seen footballers walking away from the field of play. Some have taken a knee. We've seen hundreds of athletes now taking knees because sport has not done enough to fight racism. I will end on the words of Chris Grant, the Sports England board member. He said that it is not the job of athletes to fix the problem of racism in sports. And I urge you, colleagues, as we have fought against racism, against illegal betting in sports, doping, corruption, we must also fight using all our tools against racism. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Eve. And when you got an invitation to this e-conference, you could see that we put COVID-19 at the center of the conference. So we asked several editors-in-chief from all over to give their impressions about it. And you know what happened? They all agreed to be a part of it. We must thank all of them. The first one from that list will be Mr. Drizzy Lassini from Moroccan Al Muntakab newspaper. Mr. Lassini is also president of Moroccan Sports Press Association. Mr. Lassini, the floor or the Zoom is yours.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Chers collègues, Jenny Merlot, président de l'Aips, Excellence Monsieur Thomas Bach, président du Comité international olympique, chers confrères, consoeurs, aimable audience qui nous suit et assiste à cette visioconférence via les réseaux sociaux. Tout d'abord, je vous transmets les salutations distinguées de vos confrères journalistes sportifs marocains, ainsi que leurs vœux les plus sincères de continuation du succès. À l'heure où nous célébrons la Journée internationale de la presse sportive, l'humanité tout entière vit un événement exceptionnel et sans précédent dans son histoire contemporaine. La pandémie de Covid-19 qui aura sans aucun doute de nombreuses répercussions négatives sur les médias